Welcome to another edition of Nature's Glory Cabin Off-Road Edition. Today, this is Day 2, Trail 2 of the Daniel Boone Back the Byway event held in September of 2022. Today, we are going just outside of Frenchburg. We're going north on Highway 36th, and we're going to take Johnson Branch Road, which turns into Rainy Ratliff, which ends up being Ratliff on the other end, if you can see from the map here. And we're going to make a right here in just a second off of 36, and hopefully you can read the sign that says Johnson Branch Road. It says dead end, but not for us. It actually doesn't dead end. The pavement ends, then it goes to gravel, and then it actually starts the ascent up over the hill / small mountain and come down the other side and joins up with Beaver Creek Road, which is also the same road that you can take to Long Branch Marina, Cave Run Lake. I believe this took us, with our group, about a half an hour. I think if you did it on your own, you might be able to go a little faster, depending on your abilities and what you think your vehicle can do. Stock vehicles can do this. You need to only watch in a couple of places. We just went over a culvert that you'll need to watch out for. Make sure you can cross it without any trouble. If you have any questions, just be sure to get out and take a look before you go. You should be able to do this one on your own. I rate this on my 1 to 10 scale. I've got Hill Creek rated a 1. This is maybe a 2. We have a few little rocks that we need to go over, and I'll point those out as we get to them. As you can see, we're on gravel here, and it's pretty smooth at this point. Again, this is Trail 2 of Day 2. We have 2 more trails, which I'll be posting later as I get those videos done. As you can see up ahead, we're starting the ascent up over the hill. I hesitate to say mountain because it's not really quite as tall as a mountain. I guess this is where you might say that it dead ends for normal vehicles. I'm letting them get a little ahead of me and let you see the beginning of this. There's a few rocks up through here. I believe any stock 4-wheel drive should be able to make this, probably even some all-wheel drives. You don't need a lot of clearance on this one, but a little bit would be nice. Probably a stock Subaru could do this, and probably most all-wheel drive SUVs could probably even do this one with a little care and make sure you pay attention to where you're going. Being this was September, we still have plenty of leaves on the trees. They haven't started changing yet. I believe this was September the 23rd, 2022. As you can see ahead of me, there's a few rocks the vehicle ahead of me is going over. They're not very big. And you'll see the hood move around on the Jeep as I go over them. They're probably, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 inch tall. You can look in the picture and maybe see some of it. this is probably the worst of it as far as the rocks are concerned, right through here. And it's really pretty tame. As we continue our ascent, you can see the rocks a little bit here. And we'll be out of this pretty soon. You can look ahead here and see there's a little bit of a rock. You might be able to get around it to the right. I believe that's what I did here. You notice I went around it, didn't even have to go on top of that rock. Now, as always, these are off-road trails. If there's a lot of weather that has happened, you might want to pay attention because you could have downed trees, and the trails can be changing. You can see there's a little bit of ruts here. Now, if you can pick your spot and kind of ride the tops, and you won't get down in those, and you'll be just fine. Then again, hopefully you know your vehicle better than I do. You know what it can do. I'm just trying to point out here, so if you want to try this, you can. I believe this is something you can do on your own without having to worry about breaking anything or getting stuck. Again, all these are decommissioned county roads as well, and if you have AAA, I believe they have to come and get you. A little transition there because we stopped. You notice off to the left there's private property. Again, these are county roads, so private property on the left and the right, just like along any highway or road. We're in a group of probably 10 or 12 here, so it takes a little longer when you're in a group. Varying degrees of experience as well as vehicles. We're in constant communication over GMRS radio, and we'll slow down if somebody needs to catch up, or if somebody happens to need help. We'll make sure we go back and check. Always make sure you can see the vehicle in front of you and behind you. If you cannot, stop. Either get on the horn if you don't have a radio, or announce over the radio, hey, I've lost sight, and let's wait on people to catch up, or go back and help. Now we're on top of the hill now. Notice there's a mud hole or two. I think there's another little bit bigger one up ahead here. It's been pretty dry, so there's not a lot of mud. All this up here is pretty solid. A lot of rock in the area, so these mud holes have solid bottoms. We're running along the top now, and shortly we'll be heading back down. Again, I think this took us about half an hour because of the group, but if you were just driving it yourself, you could probably do the whole thing in about 15 minutes, depending on your vehicle and how comfortable you are, and if you want to stop and take picture opportunities, because in the off season there won't be a lot of people back here. Again, part of the Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway. This was added on, a fairly new area, Menifee County, Kentucky. They're adding more and more trails and roads all the time. Supported through Southern Four-Wheel Drive Association as well as many others. A little bit of a rock here. You see me go to the left and keep fairly level. Do whatever you like. I tend to try to take easier routes most of the time just because it's more leisure and not as much stress on the vehicle. We're starting to head back down here. sped it up a place or two here because we slowed down some. But again, that's only because we were in a group and it took a little longer. You notice it's a mostly gravel road here, and we're going on down the hill. Again, very easy. A little later I might put together several of these, so if you're in the area you might want to take 3 or 4 of these and make an afternoon out of it and have some easy trails to do. That'll be a while after I get them all put together. Notice there's a little bit of a rut here in front of us. Again, just pick your spot and take it easy going over it. Won't be any trouble at all. Again, if there had been more weather in the area, that rut could be a little deeper. But you shouldn't have any problems getting over the stock vehicle. I know this may seem boring, but to those people that are novices and just want to do easy things, I want everybody to be able to see how easy it can be, so I don't leave anything out. Occasionally some folks, in my experience, have left some things out that could be a little more important for those of us that want to do something easy, want to make sure we don't have problems. We're down on the level now. We're pretty much out of the area, and we're heading back to the end of this end is actually just called Ratliff Road. Again, it starts out as Johnson Branch, somewhere in the middle it's Rainy Ratliff, and on the end down here toward 1274 it's just Ratliff Road. Again, I sped this up a little bit just because we were going slower. Pretty country back in here. Again, now we're on just plain old gravel road just like we were when we started. Up here on the left, there's an area that looks like a picnic area. I'm not sure if it's private or not, but there's a picnic table sitting in a clearing over next to the creek on the left side as you go out. On this end, if you wanted to come in and just ride and turn around, it'd be a pretty ride anyway. So we're coming to the end out here. I cut this short of 1274. We go on to Trail 3 after this, which is Clifton Road, and I'll be posting that a little bit later. Hope everybody's enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Look forward to the next time.